Established in November 2015, the Cook's Edge is a retail chef supply store and dealer of hand-forged Japanese knives. They are proud to work directly with small knife makers from Japan to bring the best kitchen tools available to their customers and clientele. They also offer full-service knife sharpening and knife repair with clients from all over Canada and the United States. Their online store, thecooksedge.com, has their full catalog of chef tools, cookbooks, and apparel. Thank you to Cook's Edge for sponsoring this episode. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest today is one I'm very honored to have on the show, someone I've been a big fan of for as long as I can remember, and a man who's very busy this time of year. He goes by many names, but I know him best as Santa Claus. Santa, thank you for being here today.
My absolute pleasure.
How is everything at the North Pole? I'm guessing it's very busy.
Very, very busy. This is our busiest time of the year. And, you know, as the clock keeps ticking, and our hours pretty much before delivery and our launch just get pretty stressed. So it's a good thing we have plenty of hot chocolate and candy canes around.
That's very good. Keep everyone fueled up.
Absolutely.
And how's Mrs. Claus and the reindeer?
Mrs. Claus is doing very well, and I really appreciate you asking. If I might say, she gets even more beautiful each passing year. The reindeer, as you can imagine, they're busy training, as they do each and every day, just to ensure that they're in tip-top shape for our journey ahead.
Oh, that's wonderful. And do you have a favorite of the reindeer?
Well, favorites, those are hard to come by. Like so many humans, they seem to wrap themselves around this whole idea of favorites. You know, I put those in quotation marks, if you will. I think it's easier to say what my favorite stocking would be versus picking out a favorite reindeer, you know. Besides, many of the reindeer really don't like drama, and, you know, which comes with playing favorites. And in order to keep the herd focused on their duties, it's really best not to choose one over the other. It would be like asking a parent which of their own children is the favorite one, you know. And actually, in all honesty, this keeps the spirit of the herd positive and the reindeer working together as a team.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I wouldn't want to try and choose a favorite child, and I'm sure every one of the reindeer brings something to the table to help ensure things go smoothly. So,
Absolutely true.
yeah. So you're up at the North Pole. What's the weather like there today?
Well, as you can imagine, it's the North Pole, and currently the high today is really scheduled to be only 25 degrees, which, you know, quite honestly, that's kind of like, it's pretty much like summer for us. But most of the day is going to be partly sunny, and the low tonight is forecasted to be 8 degrees, which in some areas of the country that could be, you know, pretty cool. I mean, Florida today is experiencing the 49 degrees when normally at this time of the year, they're in their 70s, mid 70s to low 80s. But, you know, we have slight winds at 4 miles per hour today, and they're coming from the northeast. So I think it's going to be really a beautiful day. And quite frankly, the Aurora Borealis is at its height right now. And it's just amazing to look outside of our windows and see the beautiful sight. So it's all a good day.
Oh, I've only ever seen the Northern Lights once, and it is beautiful. I'm currently in Prince Edward Island, which you already know, and it's
Absolutely beautiful, beautiful area.
Yeah, and it's snowing and a little bit windy here today, but nothing too terrible. I think it'll
Looks
be a
like
nice day
home.
here as well. Yeah, and you'll be showing up here someday soon.
Absolutely.
So do you need to do a bunch of test flights with the sleigh, like to get ready for Christmas?
Indeed. Excuse me, but to really keep everything in tip-top shape and working in the maximum efficiencies, we're always working on new sleigh configurations, you know, developing design studies of new and non-conventional configurations, which show that we can create positive changes in our cruise lift, and noise reduction are really possible with some of these new configurations, which is actually really interesting. It's just, we're trying to improve ways to improve our stealth mode, if you will.
Mhm.
We really don't like children waking up in mid-flight as we're coming to make our landings on the roof. So we're constantly looking at new design studies to lighten our load, to improve lift, to reduce cruise drag. I mean, you can imagine carrying a large bag of toys on the back of the sleigh, how much drag is created. So we're always trying to delay turbulence and layer transition from going from one area of the country to the other. And that results in improved flow control, which just creates new opportunities for aerodynamic performance and enhancing levels beyond what normally could be achieved previous years. So we're really taking a look at new ideas for external shape design.
Mhm.
We're actually working with NASA, a very, and I hope this doesn't get out, but we work with a very secret team that's been really organized for our purpose and working in new aerodynamic performance to create enhanced lift and reducing drag and reducing noise during our flight. And we've come up with some incredible ideas. There are some really positive minded and creative people at NASA that we're working with. I'm very happy to have that relationship.
That's fantastic. So does it still take you all night to deliver the gifts with all the new technology?
You know, this is probably one of the most asked questions I get from children. How do you deliver all these gifts in one night? And theoretically, the way humans understand time is not an actual reality when it translates to how time is actually managed in the universe. It's a complex discussion, one that even Einstein and others have pondered for millenniums. What you might consider one night may be many in the cosmos in all reality. Time and space can be shaped in different anomalies which occur in space that allow us to travel many miles in a short period of time. In addition, we have waypoints that we've created and established over the past 200 years that create efficiencies in our delivery routes and timing. So we tend not to look at time in the same manner that you may look at time.
Oh, okay. So waypoints sort of like different portals you can jump through, is that the idea? Or
Absolutely. Like a skipper on a vessel in the ocean, to create more efficiencies in their routes. Every time that they make a passage, they create a waypoint, and those waypoints could be positive to their course, or they could be negative to their course. So we're always kind of creating a flux in our waypoints, going from north to south, east to west, and all points in between.
huh, that's very incredible. Staying on the subject of delivering presents, uh, is it harder now to deliver gifts with all the increased in security everyone has in their homes with all the cameras and things?
you know, the one problem we used to have years ago were barking dogs. We come down the chimney and there would be a Rottweiler staring at us. It's technology has made things pretty interesting. I mean, when home cameras, home security systems first came out, it was interesting. And quite frankly, I'll be honest with you, I was a little hesitant, especially if I walked up or we cruised to a home and I noticed an ADT sign in the front yard. Um, we really like working stealth, But you know, I had a change of thought. One of the elves had actually transported with me to a series of homes in North America, and let's just say the advancements in technology have actually improved our opportunities for selfies. You know, it, it, it's amazing how many different poses we can take in the matter of moments for adults to enjoy when they're reviewing their camera shots. And, I'm sure the mom and dads get a kick out of the shots they see as they swipe through their images on a
Absolutely.
regular basis. So I actually, I've started treating it like a game. Like in some homes, I'll do the reindeer Macarena. And, sometimes I'll turn on the tube and I'll go to their favorite music station, which is usually Elvis playing Blue Christmas.
Hmm.
Um, and I enjoy joining in on the song, and I know I'm being videotaped, and that's okay. Believe me, I probably have more images on TikTok now than I ever have before.
Yeah, it's great. Being able to show that you're there actually probably increases the magic of the season.
Absolutely, especially when I disappear right in front of the lens.
Famous Peppers is turning 20, and we want you to be part of the celebration. To express our profound thanks to the amazing PEI community, the heartbeat of our journey, we're hosting a special event filled with gratitude for your unwavering support. Bring your friends and family for an unforgettable weekend event featuring signature hot sauces courtesy of Maritime Madness, a hot food challenge, an exclusive anniversary tomato and basil beer on tap from Bogside Brewing, Famous Peppers branded commemorative tailgate beer, live music from Blizzard Goat Band, games and activities geared towards kids, throwback prizes, and extra special specials. Plus, don't miss out on exciting free giveaways. Save the date for December 15th and 16th and be part of an event that promises fun for all. Thank you to Famous Peppers for sponsoring this episode. So, when you're delivering the toys, when do you start getting all the toys ready?
That's a great question. Actually, we never stop making toys. As you know, the population continues to grow, and
Mhm.
attitudes towards toys are in a constant evolution. What used to satisfy children, meaning like a wooden rocking horse, is now a video game or a new app which can be downloaded and enjoyed at the swipe of a finger. The evolution of needs and desires is a constant, and our research and development crew is constantly improving our deliverables to children based on time and place. You know, what used to be, very popular a year or 2 years ago may not be popular. One thing that's really surprising to me, and I've heard this from children, I mean, straight from the children, Pokemon cards. I never thought when Pokemon cards came out, this was going to be a fad and maybe it would last 2 to 3 years. It hasn't. It has multiplied over the years. And it's just fascinating to see some of the tried and true toys still being popular. Barbie dolls are still being asked for, especially with, the popularity of the new Barbie movie.
Mhm.
Um, it's just amazing to me. And, there are still children asking for Lincoln Logs and Legos. I mean, it's impressive to see creativity through toys in the children of today, especially when there's so much technology, right?
Right. I'm wondering if there's certain areas of the world that are more interested in different toys. Like, I don't know how to phrase it, but like different areas of the world that have more interest in a certain toy than others.
That's an interesting thought, and you would think so. I think Western culture has spread even farther than we understand. And Mrs. Claus and I were actually in Paris, France,
Hmm.
back in April. And it's interesting because, everywhere I go and look in toy shops and I ask the toy shop owners, what's popular? What do you see that children are really engaged with? And it's interesting the similarities and the connections that we have in North America versus Europe and even farther out. I think I think the making of toys today is really important to the development of our children. And I think those kind of things that resonate with children, um, let's say the longevity of a Barbie doll. Barbie
Hmm.
doll is worldwide. It's not restricted to the boundaries of land and sea. I
Right.
think it's more universal, and that's interesting because I think we can kind of share our cultures between one another. And whenever you can do that, I think that's a positive thing.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's nice to hear a take from someone who's literally been around the world so they know they see this.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
Um, on the topic of toys, my son and daughter wanted to know if you got their letters that they sent.
Kale asking for Pokemon cards. I think I touched on that just a moment ago.
Yes,
I,
that's right.
that it's interesting when I talk to children about Pokemon cards. It's I always ask them, so do you have a collection? And of course they say yes. And then I ask them, well, how big is your collection? And it's amazing the number of cards, the collections that they've amassed over the years. I mean, even children as young as 5 years old have collections of Pokemon cards in the hundreds. And what's even more amazing is that the parents are proud of that. And it's amazing just to see so much interest, right? And
Mhm.
actually so much care in taken in protecting these cards. When I was a child, baseball cards, you couldn't wait to open up your bubblegum wrapper to see what baseball cards you would have inside.
Mhm.
And it's so very similar, that culture of collecting cards like this and keep taking care of them. It's a wonder to me. I'm always astounded. And Audra asking for the Grinch book. How popular is the story of the Grinch still?
That's her
It's
favorite.
you know, Dr. Seuss was one of the most imaginary people that I had ever had the opportunity to meet. And that story transcends time. And it has such a great message to it. And I'm excited that Audra asked for the book. And I hope she enjoys it. And I hope that the story continues to be shared.
Yeah, she loves the Grinch. She watches it year round, not just at Christmas time. So,
Well, I'm sure the Grinch will be happy to hear that.
um, so how many elves do you have working with you at the North Pole?
Oh, now you're trying to get into my secrets now. But, I mean, to be honest with you, that number is constantly changing. I would say, back in 2008, there were probably, well, the media reports that there were probably about 110,000 elves residing at the North Pole. Now, to be truthful, that number has increased over the past years. 2 years of COVID, it kind of left us sitting around the house for a little bit.
Hmm.
But the real number, the capacity of the elves that reside in the North Pole is really, I like keeping that a secret. And we just allow the outside media to ponder, the true numbers and allow speculation to continue. It keeps people curious.
Hmm. I won't dig any more at that then, but do they actually live to be thousands of years old?
Elves' lifespan really depends on their source of life, which comes from the heavens above. Many believe their source is really derived by a light that provides a continuous stream of joy and sense of wonder in the goal of making the world that we live in a better place. You see,
Oh, that,
we were born to be of service to humankind, and that's what keeps our lives constantly refreshed and is indeed the service we perform, which creates a sense of balance between love and joy. And again,
oh,
time to us is irrelevant. We're not timekeepers. nor do we watch the clock as the hands tick away. So to answer the age of another for us is really unimportant. It's not the age or the years that matter. It's the life we live in service to others.
So very wise words. A couple of questions just to get to know Santa a little bit better. Do you have a favorite kind of cookie?
Oh my. It's a good thing that Mrs. Claus isn't around me right now. But that's a great question. My favorite answer to that is the ones you make, the ones you leave out for us along our travels. As you can imagine, the varieties we have to be able and be honored to taste along our travels are many. If you had to nail me down to one, I would probably say my favorite cookie is round.
I think I'm right there with you, Santa.
As a matter of fact, I'm reaching for a cookie right now.
And one last question. You've had lots of songs written about you over the years. Do you have a favorite Christmas song about Santa?
Oh boy, favorite Christmas song about Santa. I'm glad you didn't ask me what's my favorite Christmas song, because there's just so many. But, I would think my favorite song is Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
That's a great one.
I can't think of any other better entrance song.
That's true. All right, Santa, I know you're really busy. I'll let you get back to work. Thank you so much for talking to me today, but is there anything you'd like to tell all the boys and girls out there listening?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I would encourage each of you to be kind to one another. The world really needs a reset in the human condition, to love one another and help one another and care for each other. Each one of us has a heart. Our hearts have the responsibility to beat, to keep our bodies constantly working for our betterment of self. It's also a mechanism for love not to be kept to self, but to be shared in so many ways for the betterment of all. Someone said, we can make the change. I believe we can. It all begins with you and I making the world a brighter place to live together with one another despite our differences. Learn to live in love and in service to each other. That's really the message I would like to leave with you. Allow love and acceptance to flourish. Care for one another in a way you would like to be cared for. And probably one last thought: make time to spend with your family. We need much more of that in our lives. Put down the phones. Turn off YouTube, turn off TikTok, and spend time communicating with your family, talking to them. I meet so many children year in and year out and in my daily travels who, are separated. Their families are separated. And what's interesting is I don't think adults are aware enough of the impact to a child, what the child perceives. And if we just took some time out and spent more time with our children and had conversations with them and moved them a bit away from technology. Technology has a place, but I think if we move them away and got families more engaged, whether, I understand mixed families. I understand blended families. I mean, I have one of the biggest blended families, and that's known. And it's, I can't tell you the number of conversations I've had with all the elves around. And, what we see in the world is kind of a separation. And we hope that we can repair that separation and bring families closer together. Whatever description your family is, it doesn't matter to us. When you're in the home, you're a family. And that's just the way we kind of see it right now. So if I had to leave you with one thought, it's get together, be together, share your hearts, because that's really where the true light of human kindness really resides.
Santa, I absolutely love that, and I agree 100%. Thank you so much for doing this today. Really, really appreciate it. It's been an honor getting to talk to the Santa Claus.
Well,
Um,
it's been my pleasure.
and safe travels Christmas Eve this year.
Thank you so much. I'm going to have to pay closer attention to the airline traffic controllers this year. There's so many people traveling.
That's right. All right. Thank you very much, Santa.
Take care and Merry Christmas to all.
Merry Christmas. Thanks everyone for listening. If you want to hear more Mind Picker, check out some of my previous shows and follow so you never miss a new episode. Want to help out with the show? 5-star rating would do just that. Bye.